was to serve 20 years doing hard labour in Peterhead Prison. Remembering this man did not commit the crime on the leading visitor attractions inside. Now there's not many museums around the globe that I know of personally where visitors can get in for free. But for the time being, you can indeed get into Kelvingrove Art Gallery Museum for absolutely free. It's a wonderful attraction. On the right is Kelvin Hall Sports Centre, where the athletes train on the right. But this one on the left-hand side is not to be missed, in my opinion. It actually shuts at 5 o'clock, but it is free entry in here. You could spend hours in here, it's wonderful. Anyone for 60? Any visitors upstairs? Okay. Later, in 1908, Oscar Slater was wrongfully blamed with the murder of a wealthy spinster by the name of Marion Gilchrist. Now in 1908, he did not commit the crime. Because he was in the area during the night of the crime, it was quite convenient for the police in 1908 to blame Oscar Slater for the murder.
Sampu lang, sampu.
Upstairs or downstairs, which is number 15, then hit the button now on the blue pole underneath the canopy upstairs. Number 15 is for the wonderful selection of bars and restaurants of Byers Road. It is also for the Kibble Pie. On the left-hand side, the Clyde Art Bridge, everyone. Many Glasgow people call this bridge to the tunnel leading beneath the Clyde to that rotunda on the left-hand side of the bridge, or indeed to the one in front of us, which is now known as a restaurant called the Cranside. So look on your left-hand side, there's one of the rotundas where the underground tunnels would have led you to, and that's the other one on the right. Sealed off today, sadly, for health and safety. 11 is your next stop for the Science Centre and Conference Centres and Hotel. On the left here, above, the Finnison Cran, built in 1931 on the left above. It could hold 175 tonne, that cran on the left, from tram cars to steam locomotive engines and much more. In front of us, the Duke of Wellington.
Yes, we're enjoying it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, down to your left here, this is where you definitely want to be to purchase top quality gifts and goods, Buchanan Street. Glasgow is indeed second to London for shopping.
Yay, we're going to shopping later.
Well, if you look ahead, everyone, look straight ahead, and you will see what is known as a hill called a drumlin. Glasgow, our city, is built upon approximately 36 to 37 hills called drumlins, which were formed during the Ice Age. That's one ahead. A drumlin being a hill. Geology of the landscape of Glasgow are drumlins. Now down to your left, everyone, of Drury Street is where the 1884 Horseshoe Bar is. It has indeed inside one of the longest bars for a pub in the United Kingdom, in the shape of a horseshoe made of mahogany. Down to the right here of Gordon Street is where indeed the Grand Central Hotel is, where in 1927 John Logie Baird stayed within, and many other successful individuals. Up to the right, Grand Central Hotel. On the left above, the Cadora building, modelled on a Venetian palace from Venice. On the right-hand side above, Charles Rennie Mackintosh designed this building above on the right. It's one of his original buildings designed by him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this street we're on at the moment is Union Street. It is actually named after the 1707 Union of Parliament between Scotland and indeed England. So that's the significance of the street name here. Union Street is named after the 1707 Union of Parliament between Scotland and England. Now down to our right hand side, everyone, Central Station Bridge with the gold metal lettering emblazoned across it. Have your camera pointing down to the right hand side and you will be able to capture it. Let me tell you more about the bridge. Central Station Bridge down to your right hand side of the red traffic light here. After the Highland clearances, a lot of Highlanders came down to Glasgow in order to seek work. And if the weather elements were very poor, then they took shelter under this bridge to your right hand side. And Glasgow people called it the Helaman's Umbrella, a place for shelter. So it sounds quite funny this, but they called it Helaman's Umbrella because of that. Well, indeed, this is Jamaica Street that we are on now. And Jamaica Street here, it's named after Jamaica in the Caribbean, one of the colonies for which we traded with in the 1800s time for sugar, tea, spice, tobacco, etc. Now, tea and sugar in 1700s time was a luxury. Only the wealthy could have afforded to drink or eat products with sugar or drink the fine tea then. Well, number 8 is coming up, but relax at the moment, we shall get there soon. Down to your right hand side beneath us, look down beneath you to your right. This little pub beneath us on the right here, it was once part of a village called Grahamston. Well over 100 years ago, everyone, before indeed they built Central Station, the village of Grahamston extended from Union Street down to this area here. Hard to imagine today. All the details of what the one-time village of Grahamston would have looked like are in the Mitchell Library archives in Glasgow. Straight ahead, Hope Street. Now, way back in the 19th century, Hope Street was one of the 5 most successful streets in Glasgow in 19th century time. Because of a fact, it was home to many, many print works owned by Robert and Andrew Follis, who were the greatest Scottish printers of their day in the United Kingdom, was Robert and Andrew Follis. The colour of the print was exceptional back in 19th century. And that's what made Hope Street one of the 5 richest streets in Glasgow then. So this is number 8. We have visitors coming down. Have a lovely day, okay? And the centre door is open, okay? Enjoy. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Have a nice time, okay?
Thank you. Maganda, ano ka? Maganda dito, ano? Maganda may nagawa, ano tayo? May nag-explain.
Which was the 1200s period of time. The Gorbals, over to your left-hand side of the Clyde, it was a leper colony. Lord Joseph Lister, he was the Royal Professor of Surgery. From 1861 to 1869, the plaque is up to the left detailing this, outside the hospital, where his former surgical ward in Trafalgar Square, London, England, in honour to the pets for photo opportunities.
Yan. Makinig kayo, mga kabeshi.
And behind it on the left is a colourful copy of the Doge's Palace from Venice, designed by William Leeper in 1889. To the left here, well, this is the People's Palace. It is free entry inside and closes at 5 p.m. Lord Joseph Lister, he was the Royal Professor of Surgery. From 1861 to 1869, the plaque is up to the left detailing this, outside the hospital, with his former surgical ward driver.
There's a fire.
Straight ahead in front of us,
There's a fire.
the tall roof steeple, everyone.
Spread of us is
The
the
bells
fire.
at the very top level of